Oh, wow. Oh, hello there. Paul Smith, president of the Filipino-American Society of Iowa. And let me say, winter has returned to Iowa. It is cold, it is snowy, it is not one of the more pleasant festive days. But that's why I've got here in my trunk, I have these interesting little devices. I have these things that I bought that what they're intended to do, you see how they're like what they're intended to do is when you find yourself on a day like today where stuff gets slick and you start sliding around or you get your wheel stuck in some slushy area of stuff and then you just start spinning and you get no traction, you're supposed to take one of these or a pair of these, stick them in there right there at the edge of your tire, and then your tire grabs on to the traction here, to the treads, and you can pull forward. It's a really cool idea. But you will notice as you look at them, there is absolutely no dirt on them whatsoever. They are brand new, never been used, literally. Now don't worry, I'm not trying to sell them to you. What I'm trying to point out is that I bought these so that if I need them, I had them available. And a day like today is exactly the kind of day that I might need to use these kind of things when I'm out and about. But I have yet to use them, even though I paid good money for them. The same thing applies for the COVID-19 vaccination. Now, if you're somebody who has made it this whole time through the whole COVID pandemic scenario and you have not come in contact with it, good for you. I'm excited actually that you have been able to make it that far. A lot of people haven't, and even more people continue to come in contact with it because the strains that are out now are very contagious. However, if you get COVID-19 and are not vaccinated, you run a very strong risk of having significant reaction. Not everybody does. Some people have very healthy immune systems, myself included. And in that scenario, there are plenty of stories of people who actually had COVID and thought it was just a little cold. It wasn't that big a deal. And that's great. And if you've had that experience, again, good for you. I'm very happy for you. But if you have not had COVID, you don't know if that's who you are. You don't know that's how you will react. You see, if you have the vaccination, it doesn't mean you're immunized. You can still get COVID. However, when you get it, your symptoms won't be as severe. It won't be as bad for you as if you were not vaccinated. Now, again, people who are not vaccinated have gotten COVID and they've been fine. Cool. That's great. In fact, a lot of people have been that way, and that's great. But if you've not yet had COVID, if you've not come in contact with it yet, there's a good chance you still will before this is all said and done. And if you're not vaccinated, you are taking a gamble that you're going to be just fine. A lot of other people have also taken that gamble, and they have not turned out just fine. So I encourage you to think of the COVID vaccine like these guys. You get it, you have it in case you need it, but like in this case, maybe you never use it. But if you find yourself in a situation where you need something like this, boy, is it sure handy to know they are right here in my trunk and available for me to use. If you come down with COVID and you've gotten your vaccinations, good for you. Then you know you're safe. We will have our second vaccination clinic of 2022 this Saturday, February 26th, from 8 a.m. to noon at the Corinthian Baptist Church just north of downtown Des Moines. And I hope to see you there, you, your friends, your family, anybody who has not yet had the vaccination that would like to receive it. Totally free. We'll be doing the Pfizer first and second doses, the booster, which I'll actually be getting at this clinic coming up, and also vaccinations for children 5 and up. If you want to get the vaccine, if you've been thinking about getting the vaccine, this is a perfect time for you to stop in and do so.